Long ago, deep in the forest heart of the land known as Alauma, there lay a small village surrounded by a thick, dark forest known to locals as the Whispering Woods. At the very edge of these woods stood Duskwood Manor, an old house that had once belonged to a powerful chief over the years. Its once grand structure had fallen into disrepair, its once beautiful garden swallowed by the encroaching forests. To the villagers, Duskwood Manor was a place of dread, a house that seemed to watch the world with its broken windows like cold, unblinking eyes. Generation had come and gone, but the manor remained empty. The few families who dared to live there were plagued by terrible misfortune. They would hear voices in the night, whispers that crawled into their minds like creeping shadows driving them mad. Each family that moved into the manor would vanish or perish under mysterious situations, leaving the house to sit in eerie silence until the next foolhardy occupants arrived. One day, a young man named Kelechi arrived in the village of Alauma. He was a traveler and an orphan, seeking a place to call his own. The villagers warned him of Duskwood Manor and the terrible curse that hung over it. But Kelechi, desperate and with a little money to his name, dismissed their warnings. He believed that the stories of curse and ghosts were the tales spawned by the superstitious. The village chief, Obina, reluctantly agreed to let Kelechi take up residence in the old manor, warning him one last time. Duskwood Manor is cursed, the chief said. It walls are stained with the cries of those who came before you. Once the sun sets, the house comes alive with whispers that reveal your deepest fears. Kelechi, being a brave and stubborn man, only laughed. I fear no whispers, and I have no secrets, he replied, determined to prove the villagers wrong. With nothing but a sack of meager belongings and his late mother's amulet for luck, he made his way through the tangled forest path to the house. The moment Kelechi crossed the threshold of Duskwood Manor, the air grew cold, and the forest seemed to hold its breath. The house was utterly silent, the only sound being the cracking of the floorboards beneath his feet. Dust hung in the air like a veil, and cobwebs stretched across the corners like the delicate lace of an ancient spider queen. Yet, for all its decay, the house had a certain charm. The walls were adorned with faded murals of vibrant festivals, and old tapestries told stories of warriors and gods. Kelechi felt a strange thrill as he explored each room, his footsteps echoing through the empty halls. He told himself that it was just a house, nothing more, a place that had been abandoned and forgotten. As night fell, Kelechi lit a fire in the ancient hearth and settled in the dusty chair. He was beginning to doze off when he heard it, a soft whisper like the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. At first, he thought it was the forest outside, but the whispers grew louder, more distant, as if coming from within the very walls of the manor.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. Can you hear me? Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Kelechi, Kelechi. The voice was faint like a distant echo, but it sent a chill down his spine. It was a woman's voice, soft and sorrowful, calling his name over and over. Who's there? Kelechi called, his voice trembling slightly, but only silence greeted him in return. Determined not to be let fear take hold, he convinced himself it was merely his imagination. Yet, as the night wore on, the whispers returned, louder this time. taunting him with fragments of his past. They spoke of things he had long tried to forget. The night his mother died in his arms, the shame of being an orphan, the loneliness that he had plagued him all his life. Kelechi covered his ears, but the voices only grew stronger, more insistent. You cannot hide from your fears, Kelechi. They will consume you. By dawn, Kelechi was exhausted, but resolute. He refused to let the house drive him away. He decided to seek the help of Mama Chinyere, the village wise woman and seer, with her white hair wrapped in colorful headscarves and eyes that seemed to pierce through one's soul. Mama Chinyere was known for her knowledge of the spirit world. When Kelechi explained his plight, Mama Chinyere nodded gravely. The whispers you hear are not mere echoes, young man. The manor was built on the land that belongs to Odimo spirits, guardians of the forest. Long ago, the chief who built Duskwood Manor broke the sacred pact with them. In his greed, he cut down the sacred trees to build his house, and the spirits cursed the manor, trapping the souls of its inhabitants. Is there a way to lift the curse? Kelechi asked desperately. Mama Chinyere handed him a small, intricately carved Ikenga statue, symbolizing strength and courage. You must perform a ritual under the full moon, she said. Enter the heart of Whispering Woods and find the sacred OG tree. There you must make an offering to the spirits and ask for their forgiveness. But beware, Kelechi, the spirits will test your resolve. The night of the full moon arrived, and Kelechi set out for the Whispering Woods. The forest was alive with the sound of nocturnal creatures, their eyes glistening in darkness like tiny stars. The path twisted and turned, but the light of the moon guided him. As he walked deeper into the woods, the whispers began anew, swirling around him like a cold mist. They will betray you, you will fail, the voice hissed, but Kelechi passed on, clutching the Ikenga statue tightly in his hand. At last he reached the ancient OG tree, its roots spreading out like the fingers of the giant. The air was thick with the scent of earth and decay. Kneeling before the tree, Kelechi placed an offering of kola nuts, palm wine, and the amulet his mother had given him. O spirit of forest, Kelechi called out, I ask for your forgiveness on behalf of those who wronged you. Lift the curse from Duskwood Manor and let the souls trapped within find peace. The forest fell silent, the wind ceasing its whispers. For a moment it seems as the spirit has accepted his offering, but then the ground trembled and shadows began to dance around him. The air filled with laughter, cold, cruel, and mocking. You think a few words can atone for centuries of suffering? A voice boomed. From the shadows emerged a spirit draped in tattered robes, its eyes glowing with malice. It was the spirit of the first chief, the one who had angered the spirits. To lift the curse, you must face your greatest fear. Before Kelechi could react, the spirit's form shifted into that of his late mother. Her face was twisted in pain, her eyes accusing. "You'll let me die, Kelechi," she whispered. "You were too weak to save me." Kelechi's heart clenched with guilt, the old wound reopening. But then he remembered Mama Chinyere's advice. The spirits prey on fear. He took a deep breath, steadying himself. "This is not real," he said loud, his voice firm. "You are not my mother. You are a spirit trying to deceive me." The apparition screamed in fury, but Kelechi held his ground, clutching the Ikenga statue tighter. "I will not be consumed by fear," he declared. I came to make peace, not to fight." The spirit paused, its eyes narrowing. Then slowly it began to dissolve into the mist, its laughter fading into the night. The whispers ceased, and the forest grew still. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and Kelechi knew that the spirits had accepted his courage. As dawn broke, Kelechi made his way back to Duskwood Manor, his heart lighter than it had been in years. The house stood silent and still, bathed in the golden light of the morning sun. The oppressive darkness that had once lifted was gone, replaced with the sense of peace. The villagers were amazed when Kelechi returned, unharmed and victorious. The whispers that had haunted the manor for generations were no more. Chief Obina declared a feast in Kelechi's honor, and Mama Chinyere blessed him for his bravery. Duskwood Manor, once a place of dread, became a home once again, its halls filled with laughter and light. Kelechi, having faced his fears and made peace with his past, finally found the home he had been searching for. He was no longer an orphan wandering the world alone, but a part of the community that welcomed him with open arms. And so the tale of Kelechi and Cursed Manor was told for generations, a story of courage, forgiveness, and the strength to face one's deepest fears. The villagers would gather by the fire on moonlit nights, recounting the legends of young men who had braved the whispers of Duskwood Manor had emerged victorious. In the end, it was said that the spirits of the forest, once angered, now watched over the village, ensuring that its people lived in harmony with the land. For they had learned that even the deepest curse could be broken not by force, but the courage to comfort the shadows within. Kaya here, grateful for your time today. If you loved the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Take care and stay safe.